Welcoming you back to Breakfast Television to 2013, our first live show, excluding, of course, the fabulous live show that we had at Churchill Square on New Year's Eve with Marlene Chapman, who is undoubtedly one of the most incredible people, connected in ways that all of us only dream to be. So I've got to get right to our viewers' questions because T and P weigh in, Kathleen weighed in, Terry weighed in, need your birthday, but TP, let's answer right away because I love this question where he's one of these people, or she, we're not sure, that says, you know, everyone talks about how I've got that great book, that novel in me. However, when I sit down, put pen to paper, I'm totally blocked. What can I do? And a lot of people, this is the year where they're going to creatively take a plunge. Yeah. What can they do?
Well, like, this is a great question, right? But what I see with this is that, like, okay, so I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. Well, the book is meant to be like an expression. And in particular with TP, what I'm seeing is that there's no excitement. There's no momentum. My advice would be take a class. Take a writing class. Even if you're already an amazing writer, get together with other people that write. There's a couple things that are in the way in terms of moving this opportunity forward, and one of them shows it's kind of like, I would think that TP puts everybody else's needs ahead of
theirs.
Yeah, so it's not just, it could be writing, it could be anything, you know, it's sort of like being kind of on call to see, does anybody else, you know, does anybody else need me, right? So with this, it's like gaining some momentum with it. There's a restrictive situation, and I think it has to do with a relationship. So it could mean that, like, we need to change some rules within a relationship, so whether it's like a relationship with another person or our relationship with the idea of writing a book. Why would, you know, my question is always asked, why?
Right, okay.
Why do you want to do this?
All right.
Why?
Okay, Kathleen weighs in. She says, Marlene, will I change, and how about my financial situation? Will it change as well? But I love the question, will I change in 2013? What do you see for Kathleen?
Well, I love these cards that came up here. The Hierophant actually talks about, like, the rules that we have made for life and for ourselves based on what we've learned. So what we've learned from school, our parents, our experiences, our communities, our peers, right? And this talks about looking forward into there's another way, and not only do I believe that there's another way, I kind of have an idea of what it is that I really want. We've got two things that are sort of holding back here, and when the moon shows up, the moon comes out when the sun is gone, so the moon, what we see is shadows. We don't really see always what's there, right? So when I look at this, I see that in order to change, Kathleen needs to look at some stuff, some old stuff that we buried.
Skeletons in the closet.
Exactly. Issues like with like our own shame or our own doubt or looking back at the past and feeling like we never resolved things. This is bringing difficult things out into the open, and then there's freedom. So we don't always see that by carrying an issue. You know, like forgiveness, I'm really all about forgiveness, but you know, it's a little bit easier if somebody says sorry. No?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So, you know, sometimes this means like we need to ask for some apologies. We need to stand up for ourselves. This says to me there's shadows keeping in the way.
What does this say that she's headed towards if she can get that out of the way?
This says if you visualize like that kind of life that you want, like you start to see, instead of asking why things are the way that they are, ask how. This is what I want. How can I get there?
Okay.
Right? Not why am I stuck here? How can I get there?
Love it. Kathleen, do you have skeletons in your closet? We are getting flooded with emails, and of course I'm going to try and get to all of them. We are going to be hearing from Terry. We've got yours as well. We've got, keep them coming in. You can go to our Facebook, connect with us as well. breakfasttelevision.ca. Do send us, because she's online right now. Mick wants to know, though, Marlene, if you make a face, and will it stay that way? If you make a funny face, will your face actually stay that way?
If you do it for a long time, yes.
Okay, there you have it.
It will.
If you That's the word, Mick. Love ya. We'll be back after this.